Hello. Wait, let me get to my Facebook page. Jason again. How are you? Happy New Year. And this is the first live in 2025. Amazing how time flies. And we are already in 2025. This is the brand new year. And I wish you all the best for whatever that you're planning to do and achieve in 2025. May 2025 be the best year of your life. Okay, now if this is the first time you see me, this is Jason. I'm a meta advertising optimization strategist from Malaysia, and this is what I do on my YouTube channel. I help brands to take their meta ads campaign to the next level, mainly using my data-driven optimization techniques. So whether you want somebody to strategize your campaign and set it up for you so that you actually can learn, hear me up. Or if you've been running meta ads, you want to find better way to take it to the next level, to stabilize the campaign, to optimize the campaign, anything around that, domain. That's what I do. Hit it up as well. You can actually look for the links available on my YouTube profile or my Facebook page, or you can actually go to my website at tribupacademy.com. Now, what I do here is I go live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time, mainly to answer questions I get from my community about meta advertising. So if you have any questions regarding meta advertising, the first thing I would like you to do is please go to my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Jason Gunn if you're watching this on Facebook. Otherwise, you should be already on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. That would actually help me. And then after that, the first thing you can do is try to search for an answer among over 1,000 videos I have on my YouTube channel, because chances are I probably have covered something similar to the problem or the challenge that you're facing right now. Now, if you can find an answer, great. Straight away, like move on to do whatever you need to do and move on to the next thing, because as you know, meta advertising can be, we always have one questions connecting to the other and all that, but fix whatever that is needed, right? Otherwise, if you cannot find an answer to the problem or the challenge that you are facing, the next thing you can do is post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos, okay? On any of my YouTube videos, where basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually screenshot your question and I'll be answering your question live on the following Sunday, as straightforward as that, right? But if you need something quick, you say that, Jason, I cannot wait until then, or I have something that is, I don't want to go public, I don't want to go live, and or I have something that I need you to come and take a look at my Meta Ads Manager to give me personalized recommendation. This is where you go. Scan this QR code, it will take you to my Fiverr gig, where you can actually purchase a 30-minute one-on-one discussion over Zoom with me to answer your questions, to dive into your campaign, to give you recommendations, to analyze your campaign, to give you optimization plan. Anything around that domain would be something that I'm happy to help. So scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you. Now, if you are looking for something to level up your meta advertising techniques or tactics, or to learn whatever, what are the latest tools and features, or the movement, or whatever features Meta launch in 2025 that you have to pay attention to, and the latest updated strategies when it comes to meta advertising for e-commerce, for lead generation, with step-by-step walkthrough on how I set up the campaign, design the strategy and set it up in front of you so that you can actually just follow and apply to whatever business that you are in, you should really consider signing up for Meta Ads Blueprint 2025. So this is the latest 4.5-hour program that I put together. These are video trainings where I actually walk you through everything you need to know about meta advertising in 2025 to level up, as well as the strategy design and the level up, and the setup walkthrough. Okay, so if that's what you want, scan this QR code, and happy learning and all the best, right? And if you are looking for something that is more direct and say that, Jason, I've done enough learning, please tell me what happened in 2025, what's working and what's not working, and help me apply, design a strategy to my business, apply whatever that you know about meta advertising in 2025, and please set up the campaign for me so that I can learn Well, if that's what you're looking for, yes, I take a handful of clients every month going through the exercise of designing your strategy and set it up for you in 2 separated Zoom calls. Yeah, you can scan this QR code, fill out the form. Let's have a quick discussion to see if we're a good fit to work together. Otherwise, I'll point you to the best place to start your, like the next step of your journey. Okay, right. So that's all the updates that I have for you. Now, then I have the first statement. This is not a question. This is a statement from DA Clux. Anyway, so you say, if you see Facebook adding advantage to anything, it's bullshit. Well, seriously, I would have totally agreed with you 6 months earlier. I mean, before this, as I'm actually making this video. But really, recently, I spent a lot of time diving into the ideology behind the Advantage or Advantage Plus anything, like Advantage Plus shopping campaign, Advantage Plus audience targeting, Advantage Plus detailed targeting. All those Advantage Plus has got a lot of AI, like idea or algorithm or whatever mechanism that is going behind it. And to be fair, okay, Meta is always, they always take time to learn and getting better and better at what they do, which is, aren't we the same? So yeah, given some time, and now actually in many aspects, in my opinion, Meta is doing a good job in a lot of their Advantage Plus so-called products. Like recently in my training itself, I actually had a really detailed walkthrough and in terms of setting up the campaign and sharing some case studies of my clients using the Advantage Plus shopping campaign. It's really doing well. Because the idea of Advantage Plus is using the algorithm. So it takes time for Meta to learn about the behaviors, like who are the people who are likely to buy certain products, who are the people who are likely to be interested in certain products or services. All this takes a lot of real-time learning that fits the algorithm or the AI, machine learning, whatever that is behind it to make it better and better. And now it's actually doing a lot better. So to break it down to you, right? Like Advantage Plus shopping campaign, for example, does really well in finding people who are really into buying things. And it doesn't just talk about buying, but it talks about people who are really actively looking for whatever you sell. So it also relates to your content strategy, to be frank. Like recently, a lot of my clients that are actually using clickbaity campaigns or ads are not really seeing good results, because the idea is you want to let the AI understand what you sell so that they can actually match your product or your service to people who are actively looking for you. And how do they know that? Because you have Pixel, you have Conversion API installed on all the websites around the world. Whoever browse, let's say a pen, Meta picks up the signal that this guy is interested in buying a pen. And he picks up the signal where this person actually browsed a pen 5 minutes ago. Chances are he hasn't made a purchase. In fact, not just chances are, Meta knows that he has not made a purchase. So it's a good time for them to show your ad, which is also selling a pen, to this person. So that makes the whole advertising totally different from Meta advertising. That's why I said it's intent-based advertising right now. So it's the same going to the Advantage Plus detailed targeting. It's the same that is going to the Advantage Plus so-called the ad optimization, the AI content optimization tools and stuff like that. So it's really something that is pretty stable and doing quite a good job right now. So if you are on the fence, like me, a while ago, I would actually recommend that you take advantage on, all these things. But of course, if you want to learn about the latest changes and updates that work right now, you can actually go to this. I have a Meta Ads Blueprint 2025 that I would share with you. What are the Advantage Plus tools that are working? Aside from that, other tools that you need to pay attention to, and the latest strategies that I use to design Meta Ads strategy for e-commerce and lead gen, and not just show you the strategy, but I walk you through on how do I set up in the Ads Manager. On top of that, I also share with you my latest optimization and scaling techniques or strategies that I've been using for my clients all around the world. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code, and all the best for 2025. Okay, right. So the next question I get is coming from Lucas. So Lucas is actually posing a question about using Pixel on a website that sells, similar high-tech products, but different range that are totally different, targeting different audience persona altogether. In my opinion, it's actually okay. I've handled a lot of e-commerce website that actually sells totally different things. Like, for example, like electrical shop. They can be selling, like one side is selling the washing machine, the other side is selling, like the whatever LED TV, for example. And these are totally different people because, you're looking for washing machine, you're not looking for TV. They are totally different people. But as long as they're under the same category per se, you should actually use the same pixel. And in fact, you do not need to worry too much about how pixel understand your product because, like I mentioned just now, pixel picks up or whatever data like that you have on the website, on the ad itself, actually feeds the information to the AI, the Meta Ads AI, to help match the audience that are really actively looking for your product, not just about the category of the pixel itself. So there is no, in my opinion, there is no such thing of as like a pixel for different individual products, because it's not really important, because it's about the destination of the, let's say this ad is actually trying to bring people or to sell your washing machine. Meta will match people who are interested in washing machine. They would definitely understand that your website also sell TV, radio, and blah, blah, blah. But then again, for this ad itself is really about washing machine. They will match to the right people. So you really don't need to worry so much. And in my opinion, we don't want to create a lot of complication when it comes to the Meta pixel web kind of thing. Just imagine if you have a website that has like 5 or 10 pixels in it, and each of them has to connect with its own conversion API. It's totally messy. So you don't want to get towards that. So try to maintain the whole thing in a very simplistic way so that you are able to control and manage it in a more, like controlled manner. And of course, trust the algorithm, trust the AI, and and work on the process, because it's really about running ads, and work on the process, on fine-tuning it. Sometimes we do tend to have a lot of concern and worry about whatever that might come our way, but frankly, a lot of them are just whatever that we are actually playing with our mind. It's just some imagination that this might happen, this might not. I mean, what if they don't? It's just playing in our head, right? So just launch the ad. My recommendation is launch the ad and let's observe. My best bet is everything is going to be okay. But then again, you can always launch the ad and let's diagnose the campaign performance. And if there's anything we need to address in terms of the pixel implementation and whatnot, launch the ad. You can actually scan this QR code to book a Meta Ads campaign review by me, where we will dive into the metrics, the numbers, to find out what are the opportunities that you have in terms of optimization, and even the scale. If you're actually looking at scale, when are the best time to scale, how to scale, and all these are the questions that we talk about during this Meta Ads review. So I'm going to analyze, I'm going to walk you through how do I analyze so that you can actually do it on your own. And I'm going to actually build you a plan on how you can take your campaign to the next level. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. All right. Now, the next question, really, I guess these questions a lot. Frankly, a lot of people will be asking, what will be, or what is the best Meta Ads audience targeting tool right now in 2025? In my opinion, it's your ad. Seriously. Now, here's how it works. All right. So basically, this is what I always been talking about here. Meta Ads is now intent-based advertising, which is, it's not just about what you sell, it's about who are the people who is interested in buying. So the idea is this: when you are launching an ad, you got to be really clear to explain what you sell in the ad itself, right? First, you want to make sure that the ad gets the message across to your audience as soon as possible. Because nowadays, we always have been talking about the attention span, and now in this era, I don't know what we call that right now, it's uber super crazy short. If I look at the ad, I'm not interested, I'm not going to pursue. Even you use some clickbaity, especially clickbaity ads, as I'm actually making this video, a lot of my clients that has been using it see bad results. Because why? Clickbaity ads tend to get the wrong audience. If you've been using that, you know what I'm actually talking about. You may have good clicks, CTR, and everything is good, but the bounce rate is crazy high. Meaning like 1,000 people come to your site, only 10 people goes through. That sends the wrong signal to Meta, whereby, the people who comes to the website are not interested. So that would actually jeopardize your campaign. You would probably have higher CPM, and you would reach lesser people at a higher cost. And it's going to hurt your performance as well. Why? Because on the other hand, the pixel will pick up that these are the people who are interested, but they are not. And when you're running ads using that, feeding it back to your campaign, saying that, these are the people who visited my website, 5 more people who visited the website, but wait, it's the wrong people, they bounce. But the pixel pick up the wrong data, and Facebook will in turn find the wrong people who are likely to click and bounce. So the whole thing is going into the bad loop. I've got a few clients had to reset the entire pixel just because they have sent too much junk traffic into the website. It's totally gone, So that's something that I don't want you to get into. But if you run ads and really clearly tell your audience what you sell, let's say if you're selling a pen, so you just put a pen and say that this is the best pen in the world, click and find out more. So when they click, their intention is right. They look at the pen, a good percentage of them follow through to the next step, which is to add the cart or to purchase or whatever. That sends the right signal back to Meta and say that, okay, now these are the people who actually, the right people. So when that happens, the whole so-called inflow of audience is going to be good. At the same time, when you are actually being very clear in your ad to tell people what you sell, Meta picks up the data as well. And because they know who are the people who are actually looking for a pen right now. How do they know? Because every website are installed with Pixel and Conversion API. So the best part is now Meta actually matched your ad to people that you do not target, but they know these are the people who are actively looking for this thing. I think you've been seeing this forever, right? You actually browse something. The next thing is this ad. All the other ads that are actually talking about the same thing comes to you, but it's actually a very short term. It doesn't last for days now, but it lasts for probably like a few hours, because Meta knows that at this stage of, as of now, you are actively looking for this thing, because they also know that you are yet to make a purchase on this website that you have visited. So that actually, if you know how to play this right, it's a totally powerful, the most powerful way in actually targeting the right audience. So how I usually work here is let's say if it's an e-commerce, you should actually consider Advantage Plus shopping campaign, but provided that your pixel has been getting the right audience, it has been trained well enough and all these things. So all the data is good, and you have actually not just matching the right audience and bringing the right audience and all that, all the pixel is done well. You're also sending the data of like how much do they pay or how much do they purchase. All these numbers are actually useful in finding the better people. So that's why if you are doing good, go for Advantage Plus campaign and really try to find the best creative that matches the right intent. So it's not just about the audience targeting or whatnot anymore. The whole campaign structure or design, a strategy design is now totally different. So try that. And also, of course, you got to really apply, like a strong retargeting campaign that brings these people back at the right time at the same time. So when this campaign strategy is being set up, I guarantee that you will actually boost your conversion. Like I've seen a lot of clients that have been seeing like on the top of funnel, they see probably just 1 or 2 ROAS. But when it comes to retargeting, some of them even saw like about 20, 30 ROAS. When they combine, they're like about 7, 8 ROAS, which is good, which is happy, right? So you got to actually have a campaign or a strategy that balance these two things so that you can actually do it well. So yeah, that's the thing. If you're really looking for the best audience targeting tool, there you go. But if you want to learn more about what are the latest techniques and updates and like tools that you can actually leverage on when it comes to meta advertising in 2025, I would strongly recommend Meta Ads Blueprint 2025. So this is the latest 4.5-hour training that I put together to make sure that you stay ahead of a competition in 2025. I talk about all the latest changes, tools, and features that you need to understand and leverage, take advantage on them to level up. Then I also talk about the latest Meta Ads strategy that I use for e-commerce and lead gen. Not just that, I also walk you through on how do I set up those campaigns step by step so that you can actually learn and apply. And I also share with you the latest Meta Ads optimization and scaling techniques so that you can actually apply right away. So all these are this is really all the most important thing that you need to know to level up in meta advertising in 2025. So that's something you're looking for. Scan this QR code and happy learning, right? But if in case you say that, Jason, I've done enough learning, can you just apply whatever you know that will work for my business in designing the campaigns for me, the strategy for me, and set it up for me? Yes, I do take a handful of clients every month where I would design your meta ad strategy using all the latest updates and techniques and blah, 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 and set it up for you. Yeah. So yeah, you don't need to, you beat the learning, but I mean, not to say you don't need to learn, you learn because it's a different learning, because I set it up for you in front of you, recorded for your team, so that it become a tailored learning for your team, for your organization. So yeah, if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code, and yeah, let's explore about working together. Okay, now the next question I always get is, Jason, how do I plan my Meta Ads budget? Because whenever a client comes to me, the first question they always ask, how much should I spend when it comes to meta advertising? But really, how am I supposed to know? Especially if I'm totally new to your business, but let's find a way to help you understand how to plan a Meta Ads budget. So here, so first question I would actually give, I would actually, like send it to you here is, how much do you want to generate every month? Say, for example, if you are an e-commerce store, you want to generate $10,000 in sales every month. Okay, so that's the target usually. Then we look back at how much is your average basket size. So you have to have some prior data. Basically, you have to have some ads running for a while. You have been selling on your website for a while. Then you would definitely gauge like how much do they spend on average on your website. So if your per item is just about like $20, and each of them will come in and buy just $20, then it's $20. Every business has got their own average basket size. So if your basket size is too small, meaning people buy very little, and you are not profitable, the next thing you want to consider is, how do you increase the basket size by cross-selling, order bump, on all these other strategies that you can apply. But find out this for me, what is your average basket size? So for example, if this case is, if your average basket size is $100, meaning each order is about $100, which is great. So in that case, if we divide $10,000 dollars per month that you want to make by $100, which is per order, average per order. So that means you need about 100 orders per month in order to hit your target. Makes sense, right? So far, everything is calculated. It's all numbers. Do not expect somebody to come into your business and pluck the number from the sky. It's impossible. Even this person have been working on the same, a competitor that is coming from the same industry as you. The number will never be the same, because each business is different. The strategy or the audience or whatever they put in is going to be totally different. It's not fair to ask this question to a person who is new to your business, but you should know all these numbers. So let's say, for example, we need to have 100 orders to hit the target every month. So the next question would be, how much do you usually spend to get per customer? So this is what we call the cost per acquisition, or cost per customer, or cost per order, or whatever it is, right? So you need to find out how much do you spend. So if you have been only running ads on Facebook or Meta, then you know that, you in the past you've been spending about like $20 to get per order. But if you have been actually running ads on multiple platforms, you need to actually understand your cost per acquisition for each platform, because that would help you determine which is the best platform for you to invest further. Because I've seen so many clients, they spend, let's say, for example, I spend $10,000 every month on advertising across all the platforms. As long as I am in a way profitable, or so-called perceived profitable, they're happy. But the moment we dive into it, we realize that they're spending a big chunk of money on the least performing channel, which if you reinvest this money into the right ones, you can actually boost your revenue by maybe 50 to 60% without spending a dime more. So that's the whole idea of understanding your numbers. But I've seen so many businesses that do not have that. So you need to find all these numbers yourself, all right? So let's say if your cost per acquisition is $20, then you know that, I need to spend $2,000. Then the question coming back to you would be, are you comfortable to spend $2,000? If you're not comfortable, then we would actually start somewhere like here's another thing that I always like to highlight. It's not carved on the stone that you need to spend a lot to get good results. My philosophy is very simple. If you can't get good result with the minimal budget that you are comfortable with, then what makes you believe that spending more is going to get more? Because there is no data supporting that hypothesis. It's all about numbers, in my opinion. Whatever I do, it's all about numbers. So find out all these numbers and you have your budget. So if you are like, Jason, I'm totally new, this is the new website. How am I supposed to start? Okay, the best way is run ads, all right, and gather data, all right, and make a plan from there. That's how you do your reverse calculation on whatever. So the best way to really find the answer is to start advertising. Because after you run ads, even with $5 a day, $10 a day, that doesn't matter. Like I say, spend at the level that you're comfortable, that you don't feel too much pressure and stress when you're running ads. And slowly but surely you'll get the data in and you start making optimization from there. Make decision based on numbers, not based on gut feeling. Okay. So if you are at the verge of like, I'm not sure, where do I start, right? I would actually recommend that you go through Meta Ads Blueprint 2025, because in here I discuss about the latest tactics, techniques, tools, and features that you need to know in advertising and on Facebook and Instagram, so that you can actually take full advantage of them to make sure that you get the most out of it. Also, I talk about how do I design strategy for Meta Ads for e-commerce and lead gen. Not just that, I walk you through on how do I set up step-by-step walkthrough for both, so that you can actually start learning and apply to yours. And on top of that, I also talk about the latest Meta Ads optimization and scaling technique that you should know, you must know, to make sure that you're making decisions based on numbers, not on gut feeling. So yeah, scan this QR code and you can actually start learning and applying whatever that you learn. And all the best, all right? But just in case you say that, Jason, I've done enough learning, I want you to come in and set it up for me. Is it possible? Yes, I do take a handful of clients every month to actually design a Meta Ads strategy, applying whatever that is working right now in 2025 and beyond in your business, because I work with a lot of clients. So all these are actually, like the result of learning, working with all these clients. So apply and develop a strategy for your business, and I would actually set up the campaign for you, with your team, if you want to invite them, and everything is going to be recorded, so you can actually use that as a learning material for your team and stuff like that. All right, so if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code. Let's have a quick discussion to see if we are a good fit to work together. Yes, let's work together. Otherwise, I'll point you to the right place to start. Okay, right, I think that's pretty much it. All right, thank you so much for joining me and watching this replay. And all the best in 2025. If you're running Meta Ads, if you need help, just reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you next Sunday, same time here, live on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Happy New Year, and see you next week. Bye.